Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hype, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, welcome back to the Baseball Hype 2, and hopefully you like this video. Hit that subscribe button. So, I don't really watch the pre-games and the post-games, especially since the Mets aren't in it for Major League Baseball. But I guess they have sort of an amusing team with A-Rod and David Ortiz and the rather boring, legendary Derek Jeter, and of course the biggest jinx of all time, the New York Mets, Kevin Burkhardt. I always looked at Kevin as a big jinx because the years that he was the sideline reporter, the Mets were terrible. And I was so pissed off when the Mets got the World Series because he was going to do the pre-games and the post-games. And of course the Mets did not win, and pissed off again. But be that as it may, once in a while they come up with some amusing things. The thing with Mr. and Mrs. Met last year with Ortiz joking around with Mrs. Met was pretty funny. I know that Jeter was not amused. He walked off the set. Lighten up, dude. And that was a great video. People just loved that video. I did that video about almost a year ago. People just loved that Jeter video. But Ortiz, he's sort of, I don't want to get into him personally. I'm not a fan of his as a player. He got a pass when A-Rod didn't get a pass. I'll leave it at that. And he's in the Hall of Fame, and he was a one-dimensional player, and A-Rod could do everything. Enhanced, but he did everything. Ortiz did not. Just saying. But here's some awful announcing. They had the post-game show with the Yankees. Now, the Yankees Blue Jays right now are playing in Game 4. Interesting to see what happens in that game. I thought that the Yankees were going to win Game 3. They found a way to win that game. We'll see what happens in this game. But this is from Awful Announcing. David Ortiz sends FS1's post-game show off the rails with Hitler joke. You heard that right, Hitler joke. Sounds like Hitler. Now, there is nothing wrong with making jokes. Sometimes, and I'm reading this, the media gets awfully nervous when you make jokes and they don't care for it. It's not pre-approved by the writer or by other people. You get sort of the crickets going. The jokes about Cam Schlittler's name already write themselves, and then David Ortiz decided to write a whole new one out loud. That guy has one of the most unfortunate names, and I know I messed his name up. Schlittler will be on the mound for the New York Yankees in Game 4 of the ALDS after they escaped getting swept by the Blue Jays with a 9-6 win Tuesday night in the Bronx. And during the postgame show on FS1, David Ortiz asked Kevin Burkhardt, Alex Rodriguez, and Derek Jeter if they could pronounce the stud rookie's name. Well, once that happens, you don't know where that's going to go. You don't know where that's going to go. Boy, oh boy. After they all both passed the test, A-Rod spun it back to Ortiz, tasking Big Papi with pronouncing Schlittler's name. But instead of trying, Papi just noted, sounds like Hitler, garnering surprise from Burkhardt and Jeter, and a big fit of laughter from Rodriguez. That's typical. A-Rod always laughs. And Burkhardt being a stuffed shirt and Jeter being just, stuffed shirt himself, they're not going to laugh. They're probably, let's get out of here. And basically that's what happened. Let's go to a break, guys. Jeter suggests as a sort of reset. But it does rhyme with Hitler. What's the problem? You can't make a joke about that, about a guy's name? What's the big deal? He's not doing anything bad. Just throwing nasty sliders and breaking balls. Ortiz then had a better idea. Cam, I'm going Cam. I don't want to get in trouble. Why would we get in trouble for a joke? This shouldn't be in trouble. That's not a big deal. He said after his Hitler joke, Cam, that's it. Usually concern for broadcasters and saying Schlittler's name is what it sounds like, with one or two of the L's. Schlittler. Just ask Ryan Rocco. But at least credit Ortiz for finding a way to avoid that blunder. And you don't want to call him Schlittler or Shitter. That, you call him Hitler, oh my God. gives you an idea how to say it. I mean, there are some names out there you have to sort of, you know, you got to rhyme it with something so you can pronounce it properly. This is why the MLB on Fox post-game show is known as baseball's version of Inside the NBA. It was a mix of inside chemistry, jokes, and candor. And as much as Jeter's addition may have seemed like a forced marriage a few seasons ago, the former Yankees captain loosened up and now fits in well, so well that he even knows how to pivot the show from Ortiz's Schlittler joke. He's not walking off the set. Man, that's basically what he's done there. He's sort of sitting there like a, you know, sitting there like a hostage. He's like a hostage tape. And that's how it was, you know, last year with Jeter when Ortiz wanted to, you know, fool around Mrs. Med. He just, I mean, talk about that stuffed shirt. I mean, they had to sort of talk to him. Say, look, you gotta lighten up, dude. But this is how it is, you know. I mean, they're trying their best to get these post-game and pre-games to be amusing. And if you watch on the local side, the local side's different. Because the local side, you get every Mets fan watching the pre- and post-game shows, and the Yankees. There's not a lot. The only pre- and post-game shows, especially post-game shows, that, you know, of the insiders that is insane, is really the Phillies insiders. The Phillies, they go crazy. They absolutely go nuts. They lose one game and they want to like burn the whole thing down. And that's during the season. Meanwhile, they finished in first place. But if you watch certain games against the Mets, because the Mets, you know, beat the Phillies 10 games in a row at Citi Field, and after that last loss against the Phillies back in, I guess, early September, late August of this year, they wanted to burn the whole team down. Burn Citizens Bank Ballpark down. That's how angry they got and how unhinged they are. But aside from that, most of the post and pregame shows are pretty boring. They bring in these former players that kind of play with the team for a while. You know the name. He was sort of a guy that you looked at him as kind of smart, or a guy you thought was amusing. And they bring him in there. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? And they're all basically the same. You know, at least with these guys have some real major hardware. I mean, you know, multiple World Series wins, multiple World Series appearances, MVPs. I mean, really. I mean, A-Rod just by himself has major awards next to his name. Multiple, MVPs. You know, Rookie of the Years with these guys. You know, major World Series victories, memorable World Series victories. I mean, obviously 2004. These are guys that have a lot of gravitas when they come into the booth, when they come on screen to a lot of people, which you don't normally find the kind of gravitas with some of these other, you know, with the local teams. You know, with the local teams, you'll get like a, you know, I mean, with the Yankees, you get sort of a cavalcade. You know, it's like a clown car. I mean, it's like how many analysts can you fit in this little car? You know, that's how it is with the Yankees. With the Mets are pretty set with the guys in the booth, and they'll have like 2 or 3 guys that come in every year and do the post and pregame show. You know, the Mets basically have Todd Zeal, and the Mets have once in a while Jerry Blevins, once in a while Jose Reyes a little bit now. They had Daniel Murphy a couple of times, and then they bring in Jim Duquette. Really, he's not a player. He's a failed, you know, general manager. Obviously, from 2003 and 2004, it was just a total disaster as a general manager. So, but and obviously the Yankees have a clown car full of analysts, guys from the past, and guys you didn't even know play for the Yankees, and they play for the Yankees and for a couple of weeks, and they bring them in there, But what do you think about this? And what do you think about this joke? I don't think it's that big of a deal. The writers seem to be very offended by it. Brandon Contis seems very offended by this very, it's just a name. It's one of the most infamous names, and it's, cares. Guy's been gone a long time. You're not going to see him anymore. Not that important, but I want to let you know I thank you for the time you watched this video. Of course, please subscribe to Baseball Hut 2, and I'll see you later.